class of their own are the teams. Breeding counts, but not as much as intelligence and skilled handling. The winners, handled by Dr. Vincenzo Calvaresi of Bedford, a fluffy foursome of Maltese. The climax, the judging of Best in Show. Champion Vardona Frosty Snowman, a white bulldog, is best American breed, but top honors go to an import, the miniature poodle Champion Fontclair Festoon from England. She answers to Tina.
How much is that doggy in the show window of canine aristocracy? If you go by the work and care, you probably couldn't pay an owner enough. Particularly when the prize is in the bag. You're at the Westminster Kennel Club show, which begins with breed competition and concludes with the variety group and Best in Show judging. The 84th renewal of America's top canine event brings 2,547 entries to New York. From 40 states, the District of Columbia, 3 Canadian provinces, England, France, Puerto Rico, Bermuda, and Cuba. The rings are occupied from 10 a.m. to midnight, leaving ample time for the News of the Day cameraman to move backstage for pooch portraits. You'd just like to take one home, especially when a girl has 2 schnauzers. The English Bull. Anyone want to challenge who's top dog? Care you probably couldn't pay an owner enough.
A dog's life must be a perfect little terrier, so to speak, when the annual show at Ballsbridge comes round. For it's then that bone and sinew and blood and pedigree all come up for judgment after weeks of careful preparation. The Cairns are a big attraction this year, but not because of their small size. In fact, they're on a par in popularity with the Alsatians. And these are only a few of the nearly 2,000 entries, including Northern Ireland, England, and America. They're divided into 375 classes, so you can imagine the job of the judges isn't an easy one. I suppose it's just a case of dogged as does it. On the left is Mr. Montgomery, the Irish film censor and a keen fancier. We don't know whether he was looking for something in a big way, but if he was, a wolfhound or two might have appealed to him. The great trouble these days is to keep a wolfhound from the door. As usual, the pups are great favourites, and one of the cockiest, at least when the children are about, is a little cocker. Dignity and impudence come to life. My word, what a to-do. Master Celium shows off his medals, or at any rate his cup. A party of pretty puppy pointers perkily pose for a perfect picture. Mr. Justice Hanna, one of Era's High Court judges, enjoys a day off to judge for a change these 4-legged creatures. He's used to the big and small cases, so even a borzoi doesn't come amiss. This is the famous prize winner owned by Mrs. Love. Another winner is this Pekingese. He's literally worth his weight in gold.
Anybody care for shaggy dog stories? That's what this might have been, but dog shows being what they are, these poodles are clipped, primped, and powdered to a fare-thee-well. And to tell the truth, some of these canine coiffures are just as incredible as the shaggiest shaggy dog story. Prize poodles from all over Canada are getting the last-minute beauty treatment. No comment as to these details. All in preparation for the once-over by the judges. At stake, a most coveted honor, the top award of the Canadian Poodle Association. Coveted by whom? Well, you may ask. Judging from the expression on the winner, champion prankster Darius, he's pleased as punch about the whole thing. For an audience of 10,000 at Madison Square Garden, the elite of dogdom pass in proud parade for the final judging in the 83rd Westminster Kennel Club competition, the canine world's equivalent of the Olympics. 111 breeds and varieties are represented, 2,544 doggy aristocrats. In a class of their own are the teams. Breeding counts, but not as much as intelligence and skilled handling. The winners, handled by Dr. Vincenzo Calvaresi of Bedford, a fluffy foursome of Maltese. The climax, the judging of best in show. Champion Vardona Frosty Snowman, a white bulldog, is best American breed, but top honors go to an import, the miniature poodle champion Fontclair Festoon from England. She answers to Tina.
How much is that doggy in the show window of canine aristocracy? If you go by the work and care, you probably couldn't pay an owner enough. Particularly when the prize is in the bag. You're at the Westminster Kennel Club show, which begins with breed competition and concludes with the variety group and best in show judging. The 84th renewal of America's top canine event brings 2,547 entries to New York. From 40 states, the District of Columbia, 3 Canadian provinces, England, France, Puerto Rico, Bermuda, and Cuba. The rings are occupied from 10 a.m. to midnight, leaving ample time for the news of the day cameraman to move backstage for pooch portraits. You'd just like to take one home, especially when a girl has 2 schnauzers. The English Bull. Anyone want to challenge who's top dog? Care you probably couldn't pay an owner enough.
A dog's life must be a perfect little terrier, so to speak, when the annual show at Ballsbridge comes round. For it's then that bone and sinew and blood and pedigree all come up for judgment after weeks of careful preparation. The Cairns are a big attraction this year, but not because of their small size. In fact, they're on a par in popularity with the Alsatians. And these are only a few of the nearly 2,000 entries, including Northern Ireland, England, and America. They're divided into 375 classes, so you can imagine the job of the judges isn't an easy one. I suppose it's just a case of dogged as does it. On the left is Mr. Montgomery, the Irish film censor and a keen fancier. We don't know whether he was looking for something in a big way, but if he was, a wolfhound or two might have appealed to him. The great trouble these days is to keep a wolfhound from the door. As usual, the pups are great favorites, and one of the cockiest, at least when the children are about, is a little cocker. Dignity and impudence come to life. My word, what a to-do. Master Celium shows off his medals, or at any rate his cup. A party of pretty puppy pointers perkily pose for a perfect picture. Mr. Mr. Justice Hanna, one of Era's High Court judges, enjoys a day off to judge for a change these four-legged creatures. He's used to the big and small cases, so even a borzoi doesn't come amiss. This is the famous prize winner owned by Mrs. Love. Another winner is this Pekingese. He's literally worth his weight in gold.
Anybody care for shaggy dog stories? That's what this might have been, but dog shows being what they are, these poodles are clipped, primped, and powdered to a fare-thee-well. And to tell the truth, some of these canine coiffures are just as incredible as the shaggiest shaggy dog story. Prize poodles from all over Canada are getting the last-minute beauty treatment. No comment as to these details, all in preparation for the once-over by the judges. At stake, a most coveted honor, the top award of the Canadian Poodle Association. Coveted by whom? Well, you may ask. Judging from the expression on the winner, champion prankster Darius, he's pleased as punch about the whole thing. For an audience of 10,000 at Madison Square Garden, the elite of dogdom pass in proud parade for the final judging in the 83rd Westminster Kennel Club competition, the canine world's equivalent of the Olympics. 111 breeds and varieties are represented, 2,544 doggy aristocrats. In a class of their own are the teams. Breeding counts, but not as much as intelligence and skilled handling. The winners, handled by Dr. Vincenzo Calvaresi of Bedford, a fluffy foursome of Maltese. The climax, the judging of best in show. Champion Vardona Frosty Snowman, a white bulldog, is best American breed, but top honors go to an import, the miniature poodle champion Fontclair Festoon from England. She answers to Tina.
How much is that doggy in the show window of canine aristocracy? If you go by the work and care, you probably couldn't pay an owner enough. Particularly when the prize is in the bag. You're at the Westminster Kennel Club show, which begins with breed competition and concludes with the variety group and best in show judging. The 84th renewal of America's top canine event brings 2,547 entries to New York. From 40 states, the District of Columbia, 3 Canadian provinces.
Hey everyone, I am Joshua William Gelb and welcome to the Theater in Quarantine. It's Saturday, September 12th, and it is 7 o'clock here in New York City. So thank you for tuning in and joining me here for a very special volume of Closet Works. Because as you may have noticed, we've shifted from our usual Thursday evenings to Saturday night in honor of the opening day celebration of the Invisible Dog Art Center. Now, the Invisible Dog presents Closet Works once a month, and we are very excited for both their support and their new exhibition and performance that starts today. For those of you who are in New York City, head over to 51 Bergen Street in Brooklyn and check it out or visit their website, theinvisibledog.org, for more information. It's been a little over 5 months now since I converted the closet in my East Village apartment, measuring 4 feet wide by 8 feet tall and only 2 feet deep, into the white box digital performance laboratory that we call the Theater in Quarantine. And we set out to adapt to the digital form without sacrificing the integrity of the live event, all while pushing against the boundaries of social distance and embracing the limitations of remoteness. I've been working with artistic associate Katie Rose McLaughlin and an ever-expanding roster of incredible collaborators, and I promise that what you're about to see is indeed performed live. Tonight's show marks not only the opening of the Invisible Dog Art Center, but the last show of our summer season. Now, every other week, you've been able to tune in here on my YouTube channel to see Closet Works presented by the Invisible Dog with additional support from Mamie Kanfer and Justin Stewart, as well as our long-form shows, including our New York Times Critics' Pick, The Seventh Voyage of Egon Tichy, among many others, which you can find indefinitely on this very channel. Now, on October 5th, we're going to be launching our fall season, and I have to say we have some very exciting shows lined up, so watch this space for an announcement coming soon. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Joshua William Gelb, to stay up to date on all our shows, or join our Facebook page, Theater in Quarantine. Now, the performance tonight runs about 20 minutes, and afterwards I'll be hanging around with my fellow collaborators, Katie Rose McLaughlin, and guest choreographer Afra Hines, to answer any questions you might want to drop in the comments section. We'll also be joined by Lucienne, Invisible Dog's founder and director, who will be coming to you live from the gallery. Now, below, in the description, you'll find a link for our Fractured Atlas page where you can make a donation. We hope to continue bringing you Theater in Quarantine for free, but theater, even on the smallest scale, is not cheap. Please consider helping support this work and these incredible collaborators who made this work possible. All donations go directly to support the artists, so thank you for your contributions. Let's get started. I'm going to take a brief 1-minute break so I can get into places. Thank you again, and enjoy Closet Works.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little phrase, and then we can talk about it. Hopefully you can sort of adapt it a little bit, since I don't have a closet here with me. Down, and then bringing this leg through again. And actually, when you're doing that, can you bring your arms around and then through? And then I want to try adding in just like a little bit of constant here, boom, boom. And then by the final time, when you come around here, can you bring your feet on the diagonal and then looking at the camera? And then maybe we have you walk downstage, but there's a draft of something that you can give a go. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
So can we just do maybe a couple of steps and then see what that looks like in different?
Sure. Do you want me to keep this effect going, so keep the delay?
Sure. Yeah.
That's helpful for you.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. So I'm thinking, is it helpful if I face you? Yep. Okay, so I'm thinking where you bring your right leg in and it's sort of like a bounce step. So your knee is coming in and then out and then in and then out. Yeah, so keep your weight on whatever leg you're standing on. I don't know, just like do whatever. See. Yes. Yes. I love it. Oh, it's so fun.
All right, thank you guys, and that's for today, and have a lovely evening.
Anybody care for shaggy dog stories? That's what this might have been, but dog shows being what they are, these poodles are clipped, primped, and powdered to a fare-thee-well. And to tell the truth, some of these canine coiffures are just as incredible as the shaggiest shaggy dog story. Prize poodles from all over Canada are getting the last-minute beauty treatment. No comment as to these details, all in preparation for the once-over by the judges. At stake, a most coveted honor, the top award of the Canadian Poodle Association. Coveted by whom? Well, you may ask. Judging from the expression on the winner,
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for coming out tonight on a Saturday night. It's not our usual night, but we're so thrilled to have you here at the Theater in Quarantine Closet Works, our 4th installment, believe it or not. I think my mic is on, so anyway, thank you again. I'll wipe the sweat off my brow. Luckily, it is quite lovely out tonight. So thrilled to have you here. It's the end of our season, which doesn't mean too much. It means we're going to take about a week off and then get started for things in the fall. As we mentioned, we're back October 5th, which is really close. So we've got a full schedule of programming coming your way. Sorry, that one really takes it out of me. That mask is hard to breathe in. It's meant for breathing in Cold War poison, not doing acrobatics in a closet. So anyway, I'm going to try and bring in Katie Rose McLaughlin and Afra Hines and maybe even Lucienne. Let's see, but I'm going to first have to find the Zoom link, as it always goes these days. Woo! I'm drinking beer this time around because I don't know if I should do bourbon between these shows, but a nice really light beer feels necessary. Ooh, that was totally the wrong button. So again, a little bit of plugging while I attempt to accomplish this. This is Theater in Quarantine. We come to you every other week, except in the aftermath of tonight, because we're going to take a week off. Every other week, and it is a lot of work and a lot of effort from a lot of really talented people. If you're feeling generous, please go to our Fractured Atlas link. It's in the description of the video, right below this video, right below. And please donate. That would be really lovely. We'd really appreciate it, of course. If you can't donate, you can always subscribe to my channel, which is a button somewhere, somehow. I think this is about to work. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to join this thing. Hi, everybody. We're not on yet.
Yes.
So I'm just going to make sure everything is connected correctly.
I would like that.
And if all 4 of you could just be sure, or 3 of you could be sure to turn off YouTube in the background, because it gets real surreal real fast. All right.
Done.
I think we have everyone. I'm going to go get my headphones. Apologies. That way we don't.
Hi, Simon.
That way we don't have feedback. But I believe, as far as I know, this is working. Hold on, it's not yet. Because the window capture has not been chosen correctly. One more step. And here we are. Hi, everybody. You're live. Welcome.
Yay!
Katie Rose, would you mind taking the reins here? Because I'm all sorts of out of breath.
Oh, totally. I still don't see it on the feed.
Yeah, because
but I'm assuming it's there.
20 seconds haven't passed, but I promise you, 20 seconds in the future, this will work.
Lucienne, it's so lovely to. Oh, here we are. Yes. We're here. Lucienne, it's so lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for your support of Closet Works and Theater in Quarantine and everything that we do here. It's just so exciting that you're here on your opening night. Can you show us the space a little bit? Can you?
So it's reopening of the Invisible Dog after 6 months, not really closed because things were still happening in the space, but without audience. So it's the first time we have reopened to the public, and we reopened with a new exhibition and installation of 2 artists. Can you see from here?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's incredible.
So it's 2 artists named Stephen and William Ladd, and they worked for 9 years with the Department of Correction in New York City in jails with inmates, and they created work. So they have reproduced all the main spaces of they found. So here you can see that's the metal detector.
Oh, wow.
You have to go through. This is the watchtower from, you see the watchtower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the guards are looking what's going on everywhere in the jail. This is the cell.
Mm.
This is a
Wow.
real size of the cell. This is the isolation room.
Oof.
Where inmates are put there for sometimes hours when something is happening in the jail and they have to make sure everything is safe. So they put people in this room. And of course, all the work you can see here, for example, this is rolled made with fabric. And
Oh, wow.
all of them were done by inmates during the workshop they did in jail
Oh, wow.
with them. And connected with the cell, we asked a question to 500 people. And we received 500 answers that are now. Sorry.
Have you met Lucian?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Justine, Lucian.
Hi, Justine. Nice to meet you. And these are the artists, Stephen and William Lads.
Hello, congratulations. What a beautiful
Oh,
piece. Hello.
truly, what an encompassing, it's unbelievable.
Oof.
Hope to see it ourselves in person.
And of course, we asked the visitors today to also write their answer on the wall. And so it's a quick tour. You have to come. There's a lot to read in this exhibition because they explain their 9 years of collaboration with inmates. But yes, it was fantastic. And it was, as I told you, the longest opening ever at the Invisible Dog, because we didn't do an opening reception this year, but a long run from 12 to 8 p.m. So I'm kind of tired now, but it's fine. And we are like probably like 10 people now, and we're going to eat something in the garden of the Invisible Dog and just hang out a few hours together. And it was a great day, and I'm so happy that you are here also part of the opening of the season. And
thank you.
Too.
Thank you for having us and for supporting us all this time. It's been a real pleasure getting to work with you. Thank you.
Have a lovely dinner and a lovely rest of your opening. Those of you that are watching, make sure that you head over to the Invisible Dog. There's more information on our website, but their website is theinvisibledog.org. Check it out. Go and visit the incredible space there. Thank you so much, Lucien. Have a lovely evening.
I will definitely watch the performance tomorrow morning as soon as I wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Wonderful. Have a great dinner.
Bye, Lucien.
Bye, Lucien.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Well, now we're here with Katie Rose McLaughlin and Afra Hines, the choreographers of the evening. So thank you both for joining. It's been a like nice intimate group tonight, and we don't have to go on forever, but I would love to hear a little bit about from you, Afra, what it was like working remotely. Have you been working remotely at all previously during this time, or is this your first?
I've done a few gigs where someone has asked me to record something and send it. That's then like mixed together and broadcast. But this has been a completely new experience, and I enjoyed it so much. Like I can't even it was really, really fun for me, and totally different than anything I've done before. And I just found it like really inspiring. Like it's making me think of new ways to do things and like new ways to look at things. And I really enjoyed it. So thank you for having me.
It was such our pleasure.
Katie Rose, can you tell us a little bit about how you found Afra and your relationship?
Yeah, Afra and I have been working together for a little over a year and a half now, which is crazy to think about how fast time flies. Afra is an incredible company member of Hadestown on Broadway. She has over 7 Broadway credits to her name. She's just a superstar. And it's been such a treat. Like I remember the first audition that I saw her in and just being like, "Ooh, her, she's so wonderful." Like incredible dancer, and an incredible human. And she's also an understudy for Persephone, which has been so lovely to watch her. In that incredible role as well. Yeah, and just like her artistry, and like the way, our show very much, each of our artists have been like encouraged to bring themselves to the shows in general. And so it's just been really lovely to watch her, like not only in her, she's like such a veteran of the Broadway world, but also to like get to know her as a person has been so lovely. And so it was so exciting to get to work with her in this way, because we haven't ever worked together like this. And I feel like as a choreographer, this platform is so like spiritually healing, to be able to keep making work and to keep collaborating not just in a make a video and send it in sort of way, but in a like real time living, breathing humans, even though we can't be in the same space. So it was really exciting to that she was willing to come in and work in this way. Afra, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Afra and I got together and we watched the show together.
Fun.
Which was really great. Tell me a little bit about what was challenging about working in this way versus being in a room or like in other rehearsal rooms.
Just that like there's like a little bit of time delay is maybe not the right way of saying it, but like the transfer of information takes a little bit longer, or it's a little bit different than if you're in a room together. You can be like, no, just this, and like someone can do it. But when you're working through a screen, it's different, and like the images are mirrored, and, just like little things like that. But I found it really sort of like invigorating. Like I really enjoyed it.
I mean, time delay is an interesting thing, because I feel like yours is one of the first pieces that we've had that's been so time-based, really, and metered in a way. And it was really exciting and a little terrifying, because we ended up kind of, you kept saying like, Josh, you're not on beat. I'm like, I think I'm on beat. And then finally it's always a question of audio lag, and just like the fine tuning to get what's actually happening in the room to register across onto the screen is so tricky, and not anything like something we have to deal with it in person.
Right. You nailed it.
But it's interesting to that you described like the delay, both in terms of, yes, there's like actually this delay that Josh is having to sort of fight in the way that he is performing the pieces, but also in the like, hey, Josh, do this thing, and then like waiting for him to do it, and it's not instantaneous, and like either he does it exactly the way you want him to do it, or he does it the way he thinks you were describing it, because so much of it is this like verbal cueing, and it's interesting to like sit in that space of waiting for something to happen, and like it being both exactly what you wanted and not at all what you wanted, and then sort of work.
Like a new language almost, like learning to speak a new, like it was very different. But speaking to what you said, like a lot of times I would say like, oh, I have this idea, and he would do something that wasn't quite what I thought, but I liked what he did even more. So it was like this sort of like building that just delicious, the whole thing.
Just delicious. You heard it here first.
Wonderful. I'll just say again, if anyone has any questions they want to throw in the comments section, just write it down and we're happy to answer it. But, you know, it's okay. It's so weird doing this on a Saturday. My whole sense of the week has been really thrown off.
I know. Like Thursday, I was like panicking and then also realizing that we don't have any shows.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good though. I feel like it's a baby step because,
Well, because we're moving to Mondays. Because we're moving to Mondays. So Thursdays are no more. We're moving to Mondays. We'll say that again and again so that you can find us come October 5th on a Monday.
So people can just like tune in on Thursdays for a while and nothing will happen, and they'll realize they have 3 weeks to get it wrong till they can get it right again.
That's true. Now, Afra, tell me a little bit about the music. Where did that come from?
My husband made that music, which was another thing that was so fun for me because this also was a new way of us collaborating. We've done things where like I'll sing and he'll play, but I've never been like, this is sort of the energy that I want for the piece, and he just did it. And then again, similarly, I had an idea of what I thought it was going to be, and then he came with something, and I was like, oh, that. So it's been so lovely collaborating with all of us.
Yeah, and I was remarking to Afra earlier, Josh, that I feel like she got a different type of performance out of you that I haven't seen before, which is really exciting. And I think one of the exciting parts about bringing in these additional choreographers for Closet Works is that you and I have been working together for years now, not necessarily with you as a performer, but we have a certain vocabulary, so it's just really exciting for them to like push and expand your dancing ability, especially as someone who is like, slightly trained in dance, but not a, dancer for slightly.
I took like 3 ballet classes. You went to one and you didn't even approve.
I did not. Josh was taking a rather interesting ballet class, which I was happy to participate in because he was like, we're not learning the French words. And I was like, how can you take a ballet class and not learn any of the French vocabulary?
What words were they using then?
She would just show the combinations.
Strange descriptive phrases.
Like she would do a rond de jambe and be like stand in first and then like around and around, and like, but there's a name for that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of contemporary dance is still working on the vocabulary, and it's partially in English and partially in French, but like ballet is like the language is written, it's done.
Yeah,
we figured it out.
Yeah, I remember like having a test on the written, like, yeah.
Yes, and there's like no
know what they were and like say them, but also be able to like spell them.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I missed out on all of that.
Josh, I can still do it. I have some worksheets for you.
Great, thank you. Great.
We'll bring in a ballet vocabulary, ballet choreographer, and we will test you on your ballet vocabulary.
Look, as soon as you want to put me in toe shoes, I'm there.
Yes.
No? Oh, wow. That got a real reaction.
I mean, it's like one of, yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think also we should talk a little bit about this like program tonight, because I think this is our first time doing 4 Closet Works in the first place.
Yes, very exciting.
Yeah, which was a lot.
Yeah, I was talking to Afra also, being like, this is a lot, to Lucienne, and I was like, this is a lot of dancing for one human to do in a short period of time, considering how acrobatic all of it is.
Yeah.
And you were saying earlier that like especially Rue just like uses your whole body in a way that's entirely exhausting.
Rue being the last piece, which had music from the Westerlies, which I know is Katie Rose's personal favorite.
Yeah, the Westerlies were a quarantine find.
Oh yeah?
And yeah, I was listening to, it was just like, I listened to something on Spotify and the next song that came on was a Westerly song. And I was like, what is this? This is beautiful. For those of you who don't know, the Westerlies are a brass quartet, 2 trumpets and 2 trombones, which is a, non-traditional quartet. And the music they make is so gorgeous. And it also, I've never heard music that has so much breath in it. And partially that's because they're using these brass instruments that require a lot of physical breath in order to play the instruments. But there's like this gorgeous space, and it felt really, I feel like I've been thinking a lot in quarantine about breathing, and, we're wearing masks, and just sort of that, it felt like very now, listening to their album, A Nearer Sun. And so I heard this album, and I think immediately, like the next day, I reached out to Josh, and I was like, Josh, I want to make something to this group. Like, how are we gonna, like, I don't know how we get a hold of them, but like, I feel like this has to happen. And you were like, oh yeah, I know one of the members. So I just
I'd worked with Riley Mulherker, who's their trumpet player, or one of the trumpet players, and hilariously on my production of The Jazz Singer at Abrams Art Center in the fall. And we brought in like a different jazz musician every night. And so that's how I met Riley. And Riley actually ended up playing on our album of the piece, which I think we recorded in February, right before all of this went down, and has never been released. So hilariously, I don't think I was quite familiar with the Westerlies themselves, like the Westerlies, but I knew Riley, and so it was great to I had that in, which was amazing.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. And it's, I think it's so much fun doing a little bit of clowning in that gas mask as heinous as maybe the filter needs to be changed out. Do you think that's it?
Is there a filter in it?
I think so, but they're from the 80s, so I don't exactly know if I'll be able to find more.
I feel like you should just take it out for now. Like, I don't think you need air quality control in that closet. Mm-hmm. I think that you just need as much air as possible. So let's get rid of the things that make that not happen, especially you, the asthmatic that you are.
No, they give the face structure. You need the filters. Otherwise it just starts collapsing.
Afra just asked you a question.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, what's the story about that map? Where'd you get it from?
Oh, I got it online many years ago, funny enough, when Katie Rose and I were working on a series of operas in an abandoned parking garage in Harlem somewhere. Yeah. And one of the pieces actually sort of presciently dealt with a sort of failure of a pandemic. And so I got these gas masks for these 2 dancers to wear. And then they finally arrived, and I tried it on to see if I could inflict it on a dancer. And I said, no, not at all. I would never inflict that on someone. And so I always had it lying around. I have 2 of them. And then when this actual pandemic occurred, very early in creating the theater, it seemed like suddenly there was actually potential for a clown that didn't feel, that a clown that spoke to now. In a very resonant way. And so that's what we started working with and kind of playing with that. So I spent a lot of time in that gas mask. It's just, I don't know if I've done anything quite as full-bodied in it before.
Wow, good job. Well, we won't do that idea for a while.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, Josh, do you want to take a little break?
I think it's
before you got to do another show.
That is a good idea. We'll all take a little break because we're going to be back at 9 p.m. So if you enjoyed the piece or tonight's performance, please send a link to the 9 p.m. show out onto social media. It's available on my channel. If you click it, it should be right there. That is also where you can subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be kept abreast of all the work that's coming your way on October 5th and beyond. Thank you so much to Afra Hines. Thank you so much to Katie Rose McLaughlin. Thank you to everyone else who contributed this evening, to Ada Zhang, our stage manager. Let's see, anything else I'm missing? Oh, thank you to Lucienne, Invisible Dog, Mamie, Kanfer, Justin, Stewart for all their support for Closet Works. We will be back October 5th, and I am Joshua William Gelb, still here in the closet. Doesn't look like I'll be leaving anytime soon. So, no. So, if you want to see me, I'll be here at 9. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Stay well. Thank you.